Most cold emails don't just fail, they get deleted before they even get open. Not because cold email is dead, I mean, it's most certainly not hot right now, but it still works. The reason why people are getting their emails deleted before they even get opened is because they're not doing it right. They're still doing it from 2017. Too long, too generic, lazy personalization. That's what's happening right now in cold email, and that is why literally 90% of decision makers say they ignore cold outbound right now. 90%. So be the 10% that actually sends a legit email that is worth opening, reading, and replying, and that's what I'm going to cover in this video. Did you know that decision makers receive over 121 emails per day? Yes, that's right, per day. And you have 3 seconds to stand out. And if you don't use those 3 seconds wisely, you're out of here, man. You're toast. Bye. Sayonara. That prospect, it's gone. You're gonna have to find another way to reach out. So it's important that you take time to do email the right way right now. This isn't 2017. You can't spray and pray. You can't send blast emails to 5,000 people, the same exact thing, personalize their first name, maybe personalize the company name, and call it good. It does not work anymore. So what does work? Proper research. Do your homework. And luckily for us living in this era, we have AI to help us out. There is no excuse for you not to do your homework. I have been leveraging cold email to land new business since I started my company, Mod Girl Marketing, back in 2010. Like legit, that is how I got my very first few clients, was sending cold emails. And I was doing this back then, and now it's even more important than it was 15 years ago. But I did my research. So back in the day, I literally went, this is how I started my agency, Mod Girl. I went on the second page of Google in Kansas City, and I looked at chiropractors or roofers, both, who were on the second page, and I literally emailed them. Hey Dan, notice that your company website, abc.com, is ranked number 8 in Google. It puts you on the second page. That means that no one is seeing you. I can get you on the first page for free, and then once I get you there, you pay me $500 in the top 5 results. That's all I said. So it was super short. It had the exact trigger of I noticed this specific about them. Then I said how I could help, and then I gave them an opportunity to take me up on that offer. And obviously it was free. I'm not doing that anymore 15 years ago. That's literally how I started my agency though, was by sending cold emails. So today, in the modern selling era, cold emails that work are very, very specific trigger-based emails based on research that you do. There are AI tools like Clay that is amazing and can help you get all of this data pretty fast. There's also tons of other AI tools that are meant specifically for this, but you could also use tools like Apollo to figure out hiring, what's happening, and other sort of signals. There's tons of other tools. Tiga AI is one right now that will do both email and LinkedIn. So for example, they got a new round of funding, they have a new product launch, they are hiring for a specific role. Any of those are triggers that you can mention in your email. Even better, go to their social media networks and find something recent that they posted about. Did they post about something on Instagram? Maybe they were at a concert last week. I know that might sound creepy, like you're totally creeping on them if you're talking about the Beyoncé concert they were at last week, but when I tell you this stuff works, it works. Even if you're targeting a CRO and you mentioned Beyoncé and they're a Beyoncé fan and you just saw them at Beyoncé, you literally could put in your subject line, Beyoncé plus whatever you want to say. Get creative. Something about your solution, company name, whatever. But guess what? They're going to open that email. They're going to be like, what the heck? Who is this? And what are they talking about Beyoncé for? But if they're a diehard Beyoncé fan and they were just at her concert, they're going to open it. So you have to get creative. Your subject line has to be creative and your email has to be creative. Now, there are ways to do this at scale with AI tools that can help you personalize things at scale. But when I say personalize, I don't just mean basic personalization. I'm talking about very specific personalization. But when you manually do this, like the Beyoncé example I just mentioned, it's better because that really helps you differentiate yourself from everyone else, because 1% of sellers are actually sending cold emails like that, and it works. So you always want to lead with something personal about them. That's tip number 1, lead with something personal about them. Tip number 2 is the opposite. Never start off talking about yourself. Hi, Susan, I'm Mandy McEwen, founder and CEO of Mod Girl Marketing and Luminetics. That is the fastest way to get your email deleted. No one cares. No one cares. They don't even care what your name is. They care about why you're reaching out to them. Why are you taking up space in their inbox? That's why they care. So ditch the part about introducing yourself. That's not necessary. The very first line should be about them and what you noticed about them specifically. People care about how you can help them, their problems. So don't start off talking about yourself, and certainly don't start off talking about your pitch. We want to call out something personal and then call out the problem or the trigger, even if it's not a problem, the trigger. Then you mention something that you noticed, the trigger. So this could be they were hiring SDRs. Then you go into usually when trigger happens, when teams are hiring SDRs, it means that insert problem, okay? So trigger, usually that trigger leads to problem. We've been able to accomplish XYZ, solve the problem for companies like you by doing it this way, your way. And then you lead with a call to action. So we're talking really short, a few sentences, under 100 words, skimmable. Like anyone can read it on their mobile phone, on desktop, within seconds. They know exactly what it is. Ditch the paragraphs. You literally have to do really short sentences to the point and make it skimmable for them to actually read. Ditch the buzzwords completely. Talk to someone like they are a 12-year-old. Trust me, this works. So let me give you an example here. I'm gonna go back to the Beyoncé example. I don't know, this is so random. I literally just thought of this per usual. I don't really have that much planned for these. So Beyoncé just popped in my head. Subject line, Beyoncé plus your SDRs. That's probably gonna get a response because if I was the SDR manager or the VP of sales, I'd be like, what? This is so random. And like out of curiosity, I would click it. So, I mean, that's just me, but do what you want here. We're just gonna roll with it. So subject line, Beyoncé concert plus your SDRs. Really weird. I know. Hey, Susie, saw that you were at Beyoncé in Atlanta last week. That must have been epic. Also saw that you're hiring 10 SDRs. Awesome that ABC company is growing. Most new teams struggle with pain point when they're hiring SDRs. Usually when teams are hiring SDRs, they have them go through an onboarding system, and what we found is that a lot of the onboarding is lacking up-to-date social selling and LinkedIn training. We've been able to seamlessly add our LinkedIn training to SDR onboarding, which results in 3 times more response rates on LinkedIn and 33% more meetings month over month. Then you want to put a call to action. I just finished refining our 90-day LinkedIn growth framework for clients. Do you want me to send that over? That's just a random example that I made up, but you see what I did. So unique, crazy subject line, interesting hook in the beginning, calling out something personal. If you don't have the personal thing, just ditch it and go straight to the trigger. Try to make the call to action really simple. You're gonna send them something for free, whether it's a guide, a case study, a checklist, a framework, whatever. That usually works better than just saying, can I hop on a 15-minute call? Usually people say no to that. Or they don't say no, they just delete it and don't respond. So what we found to work is if you can send them something for free. By the way, the same framework works with LinkedIn messages as well, but we're focusing on email here. So email number 1 needs to be laid out like I just said. Now, my third tip of why your emails might not be getting replies is you're asking for the meeting way too soon. If you're instantly asking people to hop on a 30-minute call, that's like asking for marriage before you go on a date, as people say all the time. Don't go for the kill. Just keep it casual, keep it short. Our goal is to get a response. It's not to get a meeting. That is not the goal on a first email or a first LinkedIn message. That is never the goal. The goal is to get a response. Of course, if it leads to a meeting, that's awesome. But chances of that happening are pretty slim unless it is a super, super amazing, high relevant, uber personalized email, then you could probably get a first meeting. But for the rest, just aim for a response. Then you can lead into the meeting on the follow-ups. And then of course, you need to follow up. So another reason why emails fail is there's just not enough follow-up and the follow-ups are lame. And what I mean by lame follow-ups is, hey Mandy, did you get my email yesterday? Bumping this to the top. Just checking in. What did you think of my email yesterday? No one is going to respond to that. They have to be like meaningful follow-ups. So add something else, say something else you noticed. Send actually the freebie that you mentioned, send it to them without them asking. So provide value in your follow-ups. Now, not all of them need to be like that, but they all can't just be, hey, checking in. Hey, what'd you think? No, a lot of them need to be adding more value or asking questions, etc. So that is why emails are failing and maybe yours are failing, and I just gave you some tips on how you can fix that. So what you can do is start with a 5-minute cold email audit. The first thing you should look at is the subject line. Now, it can be a little longer if you're creative, like my Beyoncé example, but try to keep it under 5 words if possible. Does it sound human? Don't do all capitalization. So do regular case, not proper case. That way it looks like it's coming from a friend. Obviously, if it's a word like Beyoncé, you're gonna have to capitalize the B, okay? But for the other words, you don't need to capitalize them. So the first one is look at your subject line. Is it human? Does it look like a friend sent it? And is it short? The second thing to look at is personalization. Is it personalized enough for them, or is it lame personalization? Is it lazy personalization that anyone can do? So if you're reading it and it looks like it's hyper personalized, awesome, you passed that test. Number 3, is it skimmable? Can you skim it? In less than 5 seconds, can you skim it? Can you easily digest it in under 5 seconds? If the answer is yes, awesome, you passed that test as well. When you skim it, is it crystal clear how you're going to help them? Yes. Awesome, you passed that. And then the last one, call to action. Is your call to action low friction? Is it something that all they have to do is respond yes, and you can send it to them within seconds? That is low friction. That does not require their time to hop on a phone call. So if the CTA is low friction, amazing, yay! You passed the audit, send the email. Obviously, this is all about testing, test out different emails, but that gives you a decent idea of what is working right now when it comes to cold email. I promise you, when you spend a little bit of time, you leverage AI tools at your disposal to hyper personalize things, you do a little bit of research, you're going to get open rates going up and responses also going up. So try this out. And if you want me to review one of your cold emails, drop it in the comments. Every single week, I pick one lucky person in the comments of my YouTube videos to review. And I make a video reviewing whatever it is they want reviewed, whether it's their LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn messages, their posts, cold emails, whatever it is. So if you want help, drop it below and I will check it out. And if you want to apply these similar frameworks in your LinkedIn messages, I have an awesome free course for you that includes audio and video message templates you can send on LinkedIn. I also have a video on how to leverage LinkedIn and email for a double whammy so you dramatically increase your response rate. So go check that out and I will see you there.